Saquon's a bitch. That's my only answer. Freaking, that's
And
some
we're live.
goofy. Welcome to the greatest college cream cactus in existence. I'm here with the boys. The human calculator with the numerical nomenclature. Raytron, Uno dos tres. Then on the other side with us, you know, finally here after all this time, we didn't know if he was gonna make it. And yeah, we have the man with the plan, the ultimate Nas fan, E to the motherfucking J, the Electric Joe. And then yours truly, the strongest man in the universe, he who guards the Guardians, Vanguard. How y'all doing?
Great.
I'm
That's good.
chilling. We was chatting with the homies. Might start playing a new card game. Yeah.
Magic?
No. Nah.
That's
I
not a
play. I
new
play
card
Magic.
game.
Trust
Magic
me.
is a very old card game.
Uh,
Nah, but
uh,
he could have taken it as like I'm playing a card game that I have not played before. So
too
Oh,
much of a
okay.
learning curve there?
what?
There's too much of a learning curve there?
Nah, I play
Magic?
Magic. I already,
I mean,
bro.
Magic,
You got the cards, bro. We'll beat your ass right
isn't Magic,
now.
Magic
Whoop
is
your
one of
ass.
the more
You said that about Smite, and you know what I'm saying?
wait,
Look, I'll
Magic
move
is
you one you and Smite beat your ass.
Ma-
Look, I'm not good at the
Magic,
game, but neither is you.
Magic is one of the more complicated card games, though, right?
It is.
Mm.
I cannot agree, actually.
I mean,
Like,
then what's the more complicated ones?
bro, um, Yu-Gi-Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh's because they keep
Over
adding
the
new
years.
mechanics.
Over the years, yeah.
Like it's just so convoluted now. Like like
His
before, like in the
ZX
beginning of
material.
Yu-Gi-Oh, I was like, all right, I play this, I play a trap, I wait for you to respond. Yu-Gi-Oh now is I'm gonna do this, activate this effect, go into my graveyard, get this card's effect, go into my deck, get these three cards fused to make this card. I'm gonna use this card to get something else on my. And you're just like, can I go?
Mm. No,
Can I have a turn?
no,
A lot
no,
of adaptive.
no. You
Also, the
can't
answer
go.
is no. You can't have a turn because on your turn you're like, all right, I'm gonna play this. They're like, Ash Blossom. You can't do that anymore. I'm gonna play Maxi. You can't do that either. I was like, why am I here, bro? Why am I sitting here across from you
Like
if
you're
you're
here,
not gonna let me play the game?
like you're here to make me look cool. That's what you're here for. You're here so I can show off on your ass.
Not that ass. It's like watching it's like watching practice against bots where you're just like doing everything by yourself, and then you're like, yeah, I think I win, and you're just like, yeah, checkmate, easy, first turn
It's
kill.
like it's like you're fucking practice. That's what you are. You're there so you could practice for the actual challenge.
Not that ass, that ass. It's
He's like, yeah, when I play my homie later and he's actually a challenge, then I'll allow him to play. You're just a scarecrow. You're here to you're here to be a practice dummy. What
it's
about you,
fucking
EJ? What you
goofy.
been up to? What you been up to, Captain?
Same old head, man. Uh, working, man.
Oh, just working?
Just, yeah. Trying to enjoy this Christmas weekend, and New Year's is coming up, so
Allowing
gonna try to
yourself
spend more time with family, be more present. I be
so
on the
you
fly. I be a fly on the wall sometimes. So
so you're enslaved by the rat race? That's what you're trying to tell me? You in the rat
yeah,
race? The cubicle? The 99. You do have an office, so you don't have a cubicle. So that's at least you got that going for you.
I mean, I have on my downtime at work, I have good conversations with my coworkers, and
Mm.
you know, it's it's good. I'm still connecting with people. So
The I found out something interesting about my job today. Found out apparently me and the other people that work through this agency are fucking. Apparently everybody hates us. Like we're despised. And the reason why apparently is because they think we make more money than them or some shit, and we don't do
Absolutely.
anything.
Yep.
Yeah, so they
Yo,
hate
that's what it
us.
was like at the library when I was working security. Them motherfuckers hated the security guards for some reason. They were ready to get us fired or get us removed. And I was just like, what the
Yeah,
fuck do we do to y'all? Like literally, like if we stood next to the books and someone asked us, "Is like, oh, do you know where this book is?" And all we do is stand next to the books all day. Like I'm talking about one spot. So it's like, yeah, I know where that book is. Like it's like I know how the numbers are. If you told them it was like, oh, it's in the row next to you, it's in that aisle. Like, bro, my manager had to come and was like, yeah, the librarian's been complaining about you doing their job. And I was like, they just asked me for directions, bro. They're like, yeah, you can't be doing that. You can't be giving out directions. I was like, what the fuck, bro? They once like I would help like if an older person would come in and like the door was kind of heavy, I would hold the door open. There's like you can't be holding the door open for people. I was like, that was an old ass lady struggling with the door. They was like, yeah, you can't be holding the door for people. I was like, it was like they were like, yeah, the librarians be complaining. I was like, for what, bro? And if you ever went up to the librarian, asked them a question, they had the worst attitude. My man was sitting there reading a book, and this lady's like, yeah, like, where do I go to drop this off? Like, where do I pick up my books? And he was like, ugh. Like, not even like a fucking subtle, like, verbally out loud, I am like 20 feet away and I can hear this man suck his teeth that this fucking patron just asked him a question. Yo, how the fuck do you still have your job, bro?
Them niggas was black, definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah he was. Yeah, he was. I was just like, yo, what the
only
fuck?
black people. Only fucking black people. Only. I'm sorry. You can call me self-hating all you want. Literally, the only time in my life I've ever worked with people and ended up in the most bizarre situations where it's like there's something that just should not be happening when you're in a work environment. It was around black people. Every fucking time. Okay? I don't know
Like,
what it
kind
is.
of goofy shit is that, bro?
Because that is goofy. Fucking it's like, man, if you don't get your fucking wannabe fucking probably wanted to be a writer and fucking failed at that shit. So now he's angry at
And it
everybody.
wasn't even just him. Like it was like all the librarians just had this
Yeah,
fucking hatred of
yeah.
anyone
I
asking
think
them a question, bro.
like being around the books makes them think that they're smart or some shit. I think they think that they're intelligent people. It's like you're not intelligent. You just happen to get a job as a librarian. Like I would be around those librarians. I'd see them. They were very pretentious. I'll say that. I used to hear their conversations. I was a kid thinking these niggas were pretentious. That's something to consider. But
Yeah,
yeah. So yeah,
they were
apparently
just talking out their ass, bro. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all?
yeah, apparently the
And
people in my
and like they already had less responsibility because this was COVID time. So all the patrons did were walk in, drop off a book, and pick up the things they reserved and leave. That's all they did.
yeah. I'm not man. It just because like learning that apparently they hate us even though I did absolutely nothing to these people. I'm actually a very kind guy. You know, I mean, not all of them, of course. You got some of my coworkers are cool, and I hang out and talk to them. Um, but like, damn, because like one of the girls, she got one of their fucking numbers. She got one of the guy's numbers, and apparently they're gonna be hanging out. And like, there's a girl they want me to talk to, but now I'm learning that everybody fucking hates me. I'm like, is there even any fucking point in trying to do that shit? What if that bitch hates us too? Like I don't know now. Now I don't know who the fuck I can talk to and who I can't. Like it made it weird. I mean, a teacher introduced themselves to me, and I was like flustered as I was talking to them because in my head I'm just like, this is one of the bitches that hate us. Like, this is one of the bitches that hate me,
Bro,
and this is like
does it
weird, like
matter?
fucking yeah.
Because
I don't
like
know.
them hating you before or like the knowledge of this didn't like it doesn't matter.
It's just unconsciously it's gonna affect you. You're gonna be like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? You're gonna feel like you're behind enemy lines and not want to be in that environment. It's gonna affect you unconsciously. Like I'm sure at your security job, that shit affected you. Them complaining about you for no fucking reason.
I
Like
got
it's
both.
easy. Yeah, it's easy to be like, oh, I'm just gonna make my mind a steel trap and ignore it. But it's like when it's like something that bizarre and inane, you can't stop thinking about it. You're just like, what the fuck did I do to him? Like
You
why? Like
you
yeah,
you
when it's
learn to get
something
over it. I'm not I'm dead ass. You learn, bro. I'm telling you. I was just like I
in
stand
time.
here, and then I go home. That's it.
In time, you forget
But
about
I'm
it,
just
but you
saying like
still,
because I I've had this experience before. It's like
yeah, yeah. I mean, I get over it. I mean, it was just weird the first few minutes, and I was like, oh, maybe I should just keep to myself. That was the vibe I was getting, and that was the vibe I developed within. And maybe I should just keep to myself for now. But whatever, fucking weird.
yeah, no, people are goofy. People are goofy, especially older people. Like I don't know what the fuck is wrong with people over the age of like 35, but they are the goofiest motherfuckers you
Goofy.
will ever meet.
They are strange individuals. Yeah, I'll say they are very old women, especially very strange individuals, bizarre individuals. I don't know what is going
Yeah,
on.
I'm just like, what's going on here? Like, why you acting like that, bro?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, are you here to work or like what's going on? But whatever. Um, yeah. So well, the thing that made me laugh so much just a few minutes ago, when I was like, these goofy. One of the girls I was talking to, right? She was like, "Oh, it's been a few days, so I feel comfortable sharing this now." And I opened the message to see what it was, and she was like, "Oh, my full name is," and she told me her full name as opposed to her nickname, and I was just like, I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, did you think I was stupid? Did you think this weird three-letter name you gave? I thought that was your actual name? I'm not
Hmm.
stupid. Like, oh my god, I don't know what is wrong. Yo, what's going on this planet, bro? What's happening? Like sometimes I wonder, did everyone go crazy? Is everyone on this planet insane? Like that's not a normal thing, right? Like, what the fuck is that? Oh, I finally feel comfortable after all this time with you. My name actually isn't Gio. It's Giovanni. I only trust very few people with my full name.
Man, I can't tell you about none of that. Like I can't tell you. I don't think I've met anyone like that either.
That's just, that was so bizarre. Maybe they were just trying to be funny. Maybe they just thought it was funny because I think they
Yeah.
put an LOL. So I guess that was supposed to be funny.
Geo's
It does.
Bizarre Adventures.
It was hard, but Adventures in Bizarre Taste. That's what that is. But so guess what I was thinking about earlier
You
today?
thinking? Impossible.
You really just gonna disrespect me like that?
Yeah.
Nah, the long pause. But all right. So I was thinking about Spider-Man and thinking about how Sam Raimi had the best take on Spider-Man yet. I really think he had the best take yet.
I feel
What do you guys?
Not Adventure. What's it? Amazing Spider-Man had potential, but that
It was
man
nowhere.
is
It
it
was
was
nowhere near.
potential, and then they doubled down in the second one. It's like, nah, you went the wrong
What
way.
do you mean by take? What take? What do you mean by
Oh, like
that?
as in terms of like the best adaptation of the character. No, actually, no. The best adaptation of the character Spider-Man is Spectacular Spider-Man. But the best film adaptation of Spider-Man is the Sam Raimi Spider-Man series. And I actually think every movie in that series I think is okay. I don't even think the third one is as bad as people try to act like it is. I think the third one is a decent film. There are some things in there that I guess were kind of stupid, but overall the movie is all right. Like if you rewatch part 3, like you don't cringe, you don't think, you're just like, oh, this is a pretty okay movie.
So what did you love about his take then?
So yeah, the first thing I really like about
That was my head.
Sam Raimi's Spider-Man is his Peter is very human. Like he's a very relatable, everyman kind of guy. Like he really seems like they really like nailed the everyman persona. Like he's like this hapless guy who goofy shit happens to. Um, his costume is fucking awesome. He has one of the best Spider-Man costumes ever. I like that he's filled out. Like I do like that. Like because I feel like they always try to go. They try to make Spider-Man look small, and I think they overdo it a little bit sometimes. Like they try to make him too skinny and too tiny. So I feel like he was like even the way he looked was all poised. Like okay, he's a nice like decent sized human individual. You got that. Oh yeah, he has the best costume, the best story. Like Spider-Man 2 is still probably the greatest superhero film ever made. Like Spider-Man 2 is a fucking amazing movie. And the Raimi series has like bar none. One, it has the CGI in the Raimi films are ahead of their time. Like compared to the MCU bullshit we're seeing now, the CGI in the Raimi films are comparable, if not better, which is goofy as hell considering those movies came out in the early 2000s, right? And then the other thing is the fight scenes in those movies are fucking amazing. Like Amazing Spider. I mean, not Amazing Spider. Spider-Man 1 has some really good fight scenes. Like Green Goblin, especially that scene at the end when Green Goblin is just kicking his ass for like 30 minutes. Remember the end where he's just flipping around, beating the shit out of Spider-Man?
Yeah.
My favorite scenes of that movie. But it has one of the best, it has some of the best fight scenes. But then when you get to Spider-Man 2, oh my God, they just outdid themselves with the fucking choreography. Those fight scenes between Doc Ock and Spider-Man were literally some of the greatest fight scenes I've ever seen in my life. Like the crazy angles they would take. Like the fight when they're on the side of the building and he's freaking holding Aunt May like hostage. That whole fight was crazy. Or a classic fucking scene in that movie. I think it's Harry and Mary are talking. Is it Harry and Mary? I don't think it's Peter. Is it? No, I think it might be Peter. They're sitting there talking, they're chilling, and then suddenly you see the fucking like taxi flying towards them from the fucking window. Oh, it was Peter,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
no, it's Peter and
Yeah,
Mary Jane.
Peter.
Yeah.
Yeah, then he fucking saves her. That scene was crazy. But they're
Well,
just
they
sitting there
make
chilling.
references to that in Spider-Verse.
Oh, cool. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. When
But
that scene,
he was Sam Raimi
yeah,
Spider-Man, like Peter B. Parker.
sort of, yeah, because when you saw the references, they
Like
showed
they
like
just basically showed
fight
you
scenes.
the Raimi movies.
Yeah. So yeah, those movies are just perfect. Like Spider-Man 3, it has its problems, but even then it has some really good fight scenes. Harry Osborn
Problem with Spider-Man
redeeming
3 is there's too many villains.
sort of. Yeah, that's one of the problems. But Sandman was a very compelling character in that movie. Sandman was very compelling in Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
That,
Like
yeah.
like you said, like this, it's not as bad as people make it out to be. It's just like not that great
Yeah,
comparatively.
compared to the rest of the
People didn't like how goofy uh Spider-Man was acting in part 3 when he gets
The symbiote, but
the
like that was the
yeah, when he
point.
gets
Like
yeah.
this is
Yeah, they
what
just
a
didn't get
loser like Peter Parker thinks being
But
cool
but
is.
it was just like over the top for some people at that
Yeah,
point.
but like
But like when you're rewatching the scenes, you can clearly see that other people also think he
yeah,
looks
no one
fucking.
thought he was cool. Everyone was like, "Yo, what the fuck is wrong?" Like he was like an eyesore. People was like, "Yo, who the fuck? Whose man's is that?"
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
uncomfortable. Yeah.
Yeah, but
So
yeah,
it did its job. Is all I'm saying.
yeah. But the later films, the later attempts at adapting Spider-Man just can't hold a candle to that original trilogy.
Andrew was too cool, and Thomas too spazzy.
Oh, the only thing actually I'll give the second series, the Amazing Spider-Man series, over the original series is Andrew made a pretty good Spider-Man in terms of like the way the
Because
jokes and stuff
in the
and the way he
costume,
portrayed the character. Yeah, he did a good job. He did a really good job. His sense of humor and the way he portrayed the character was pretty good. And even like him being in No Way Home, he was a welcome addition. It was fun seeing him again. He
it
did
was
a
a
good
little
job.
weird when he caught Zendaya and he was like about to cry. I feel it was like it was a little much, just a little bit. Just tone down. Just a
Yeah,
little.
'cause, like the idea was supposed to be they
Yeah,
were
I
trying
know,
to make
but like I was just like, oh man,
he was the
bro,
dark one. Yeah,
you're
he was the
embarrassing
tragic
me here.
one. The new series just didn't do it for me. Like the first one, I thought was kind of lame. Like I didn't like the first one. The
I thought
only
the
parts
first one was like okay, and then the second one's like, yo, this is feces.
no, well actually no, I disagree. The first one I thought was lame, except I liked Vulture. Vulture was a cool
Vulture
villain.
was cool.
But the only thing I didn't like, Vulture's backstory was really fucking weird and fucking stupid. Cause like,
Yeah, no, they suddenly tried to make Tony seem like a bad guy. I was
yeah,
like,
but
you can't do that when you've been propping him up as the golden child this whole time.
well, you
Also,
can do that.
yeah,
You can
no,
show the
like you regular ass motherfuckers probably shouldn't be cleaning up these
no,
things.
you could show the yeah, that's one of the parts, right? But you can show the unintentional ramifications of a golden child. Like that's a classic trope people do all the time. But the thing that didn't make any sense to me was all right, so it's like he gets shit out of this deal, right? Like this deal doesn't work out for him, he's mad about it. So he just becomes like a murderous psychopath.
No,
like
well, I mean,
you,
yeah,
he
exactly
fucking
what
murdered
happens. Yeah,
that guy.
like he's like he goes home. He's like, hey boss, I've been fiddling with this laser beam, or I've been fiddling with these fucking drones. We can make you a wingsuit. He's like, yeah, I could be a crime lord. He's like, I ain't say any of those words.
I feel like that was a joke, right? Like,
I said none of those words. It's like, I can make you a suit that can fly. I could be a criminal? What? Wait, what?
Like, that must have been some shit you wanted to do before.
Like, you could have just been a hero. You could have been a sideshow act. You could have patented this technology, recreated it, sold
I don't
it.
think it would have mattered to patent it because remember, Falcon had those wings for years, so the U.S. Army already had shit like that. Apparently,
Nah, but the fucking Vulture's wing seems a lot more versatile.
I don't know about that. Nah, you just see the thing.
So no, like
Wings
the difference between Falcon's wings is one. Falcon, if his arms aren't like this, he can't do shit. He needs to be like this to fly. That's
no,
bad.
actually, no. That's the normal Falcon. I don't think the new one has to do that.
And then, because every time I saw him put his arms down, the wings went away.
I don't know. I don't remember. I don't think he has to do that though. But
so
I mean, his wings
that's goofy as fuck, bro. Like when he's just like flying around like this, I was like, yo, bro, that's goofy. Vulture's wings, while they are bigger, because they are bigger, he can actually pick shit up. Falcon is like, all right, one other person, I'm going down.
That man Vulture, old ass man, right? Like he in the 60s type shit.
No, well,
he look old as hell.
In the movie, he wasn't, but in the comic, he's old.
He look old as shit.
Yeah, the Vulture in the comics is old as dirt.
Yeah, that nigga need to retire from being a villain for real. Fuck around, fuck around, break his back or something, trying to fly.
That's usually the premise every time they use him in stories, that he's old as fuck. But yeah, so like I actually thought the second movie, Far From Home, I thought that movie was actually good and better than the first one. Of course, as usual, no movie is perfect. There are things in that movie that I think are dumb, like him being Tony's lackey again is really fucking stupid. They can't get over Tony. Every movie has to be about Tony, which is really goofy and weird. How are you gonna make a whole series and the whole thing is just remember that thing that Tony Stark did 12 years ago? Ooh, yeah, it's coming back. And it's like I thought this was Spider-Man's movie. I didn't know this was Iron Man 3.5. Like,
yeah, no.
I thought we were watching Spider-Man.
Honestly, that was my problem with Steven Universe. Like that was what Steven Universe used to do. Like everything was just one person's problem or one person's fault. I was like, that's goofy. That's goofy.
Yeah. But I mean, Vulture was a great villain. Vulture was a really good.
Too bad he didn't.
Not Vulture. Sorry, Vulture was a good villain. But I meant
Mysterio.
Mysterio was a great villain, man. Mysterio was cool as fuck. Like that shit with
the CGI for the movie was actually like really good. Especially he really didn't know. He's like, "Am I there?" He was like, "I am confused."
What is his power again, Mysterio? I know he got the helmet on.
He makes
illusions.
Yeah. In the comics, he has a bunch of things he uses to do it. In the movie, he just had like these like drones. Yeah. He had these drones that would like project holograms, and they had guns on them and shit. Well, they could do a lot of things. Those drones could do fucking anything.
Imagine being that mad over a joke.
No, wasn't he also mad because he pretty much stole the fucking idea from him?
Yeah, which I don't know if that's true or not because it's weird.
Well, yeah, that's one of the things about the movie that make no sense. Is
Far From Home was a cool movie if you can get behind the premise that he was given these glasses by the Skrulls and then give them to Mysterio. That's what a comment says. Shout out to Rivera here.
And this is gonna be a unpopular opinion, but my son Shocker need to get a movie, man. He need to be one of the main villains.
Shocker and Electro.
I can't, but Shocker's cool as hell.
I just know you couldn't do it.
I can tell you, Shocker uses.
Yeah,
sound.
I know you can answer the question, but it was for you because I can't tell the difference either.
No.
Right? Nah, Shocker cool as hell, man. It would be enjoyable to see him. I don't know if anybody within that fan base has asked for it, but it would be cool to see him as the main villain of a movie.
Wait, when you say Shocker, who are you talking about?
He's talking about the yellow guy
from Spider-Man.
Yeah, no. Shocker and Electro got switched at one point, but in the let me show you who I know.
No, because I'm hearing he's actually talking about Electro.
Yes.
Are you talking about the guy that had electric power?
No.
You don't know who Shocker is, bro?
No, I'm telling you.
Are you talking? You're talking about the actual Shocker with the guy?
Yes, There's only one Shocker to my knowledge.
I thought you might have been confused when thinking about Electro.
No, I'm talking about Shocker. I know who Shocker is.
Yeah. I don't know why you think you need.
He doesn't. because he doesn't get enough. He doesn't get enough exposure. I feel like
cool in the game. He was cool in the game.
Definitely, he was cool in the game.
Yeah. That's why I knew exactly. He's like, he's talking about the game.
Ultimate Spider-Man game. You want the Ultimate Spider-Man game?
No.
Nah, like the early 2000s, where you fight him in like the train station or something like that, like in the subway.
Yeah.
The Ultimate Spider-Man game has a
game. Real ones know like Ray, feel me?
I mean, not the Ultimate Spider-Man game. Sorry. Well, Ultimate Spider-Man and the game. I think the game uses the same concept. In the Ultimate Spider-Man universe, he's like a joke character. Like, he's there to get his ass kicked by Spider-Man.
He was also in Marvel Ultimate Alliance, if you ever played that. But
yeah, so that probably might be where they do this way. But basically, he was like a joke character, and there's an issue of that comic where he gets the one up on Spider-Man. He's about to fucking kill him. He's about to fucking kill him because he's been tired of being treated as a joke this whole time. I forgot how the fucking story ends. I think he of course gets his ass kicked and goes to jail, and like he's sad, really sad, and it ends like in a sad way. The Ultimate Spider-Man series is really good. It's a good series, probably one of the best written Spider-Man series of all time. Yeah. But the thing about the Skrulls, I don't enjoy movies that I have to sit here and create fan canon in order for the movie to make sense. That's not how a good movie works. It's not, you're not supposed to have to do that to enjoy a film or to understand it. Like a good writer knows how to, like there's one thing if there's exposition that you should be able to understand by using your brain. But if someone got to sit there trying to craft a theory as to why your movie, like to explain some shit in your movie, you just wrote a bad movie. Like that's it.
Like Doctor Strange with the whole WandaVision shit, right?
Yeah.
Is a prime example of that.
Yep, that was a goofy ass movie. That was a very goofy movie. I mean, even the Doctor Strange series is an entire goofy series. Like, yeah, Doctor Strange 1, Doctor Strange 2. Both series, for some reason, it's like Doctor Strange just don't know any fucking magic. Like, all the nigga does is
he was piecing that monster up in the beginning, and then he never did nothing cool like that again.
He did not piece that monster up. All you do is, like, make some fucking slice things and slice him.
Like, that's all he was doing a lot of magic. It's just the monster somehow did not succumb to it. He was doing a bunch. And I was like, why is this thing still fighting?
All he did was a bunch of portal shit. That's what I remember.
He cut it with the buzzsaw. He was
he didn't do anything but like a bunch of portal stuff. It was really goofy. I was like, this is all the magic you could do, my nigga. And even when we were watching Black Adam, Dr. Fate, I was like, is this nigga gonna do magic or he just gonna like do like random parlor tricks? Like come on, I thought you were like this mystical sorcerer supreme. Like
Dr. Fate. Now, I actually don't know how much of this gonna show. It's a trailer though, so it should be fine, right?
I don't know.
Let's just scale. Wong shows up. Wong starts piecing it up.
They both just do a bunch of portal shit.
Nah, Wong's out here. He's fighting like the Avatar, bro.
Hold on, I think he does some water shit there, right?
There, Wong putting in work. They really at the end just adds confusion to the whole thing.
All Wong is doing is this fucking rope shit. He does that every fucking movie.
Hey, Wong MVP in this movie.
I'm telling you, these niggas don't do magic. Hey, look at that, nigga. All that shit had to do was hold him upside down, and Wong is out of commission. Like, are you fucking serious?
Yes.
Are you serious? I thought you guys. Wong is the sorcerer supreme.
By a technicality.
All the shit had to do was turn him upside down. You found my weakness.
Chat says they revealed it at the end, just adds confusion to the whole thing about the glasses thing.
Yeah.
I should put chat somewhere. I should figure out how to do that.
Yeah, I remember that. I know what he's talking about.
I don't remember because honestly, wow.
No, because at the end you learn that the Fury and Agent Maria Hill,
Skrull, right?
They were both Skrulls, and and Fury was in space, and like they were just. They don't explain why they were on Earth pretending to be him. I guess we're gonna learn that in their.
No, you won't.
No, because they have a shitty attempt at a Secret Invasion. Like, I don't know why the fuck you're making Secret Invasion a random show on your streaming service. Like, that is crazy. Like, Secret Invasion should have been made like a while ago. Like, there was no need for no fucking Endgame. You could have just had them fight Thanos, or you could have had Endgame. You could have had Secret Invasion come before
Secret
Endgame.
Invasion should have happened in Agents of Shield. Should have started there.
No, because the reason, yeah, you have a whole. Well, the thing is, the annoying thing with Agents of Shield is they ignored its existence, or basically like
I believe
there was miscommunication. Like Agents of Shield would reference things and clearly be part of the Marvel universe, but anything that happened in Agents of Shield, they would just pretend like there was like that shit. That's just literally. I think there was a thing. There was like drama because I think like Joss Whedon had commented that they're pretty much a separate entity. Like none of that shit matters, and that's exactly what happened. You know, they canceled that show, and now
it would have been nice though if all the Marvel shows had the common theme of the Secret Invasion.
Yeah,
would have
or and you could have easily have explained how characters were explained or disappeared if you were like, oh, the Secret Invasion event was happening throughout all those Marvel shows, and at some point during those shows, other heroes were replaced, and you didn't know who. Then that would explain why Thanos was able to fucking cripple the Avengers so easily because they weren't at their best. The team was pulled apart by the Skrulls, you know.
But who knows, bro? All I'm saying is, Spider-Man 2, great movie.
Yeah, Spider-Man 2 is a great film.
Great way to stay in shape.
But Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man 3, Spider-Man No Way Home, that movie was good, but there were things about it that didn't make any sense.
Because you're like, my boys are back. I'm not saying like it's a bad movie.
No, even Tom Holland, that was probably his best performance.
Yeah, I'm saying like the movie isn't bad, but like the storyline overall kind of jank.
Convoluted, yeah, very convoluted storyline.
Jank as fuck, bro.
A very convoluted story, just an excuse to fit a bunch of characters in there.
Yeah, it was.
Like, Doctor Strange had no reason being there. Like he really.
Like, I feel like they were really disrespecting Doctor Strange. Like my man Spider-Man really was just like, I know you're Sorcerer Supreme or whatever, but I'm just gonna evade you in all attempts.
So, that part was kind of cool because you could argue that he's just he's fast as fuck, and Spider-Man is fast as fuck, and he's
yeah. But when he's like, oh, this mirror dimension, it's just geometry. I was like, all right, come on, you deadass. Even if you do understand the mirror dimension, that's the Sorcerer Supreme. He also understands the mirror dimension. Like you don't just get to like Uno reverse it on him like that.
Yeah.
And I agree. It was cool as fuck when his spider sense was just like playing keep away. Like that was cool. I was like, whatever. But then I was just like, yo, you really pieced him up in there.
Yo. But yeah, the coolest part about the new series was when the end of the new series was when Green Goblin was kicking his ass for like 30 minutes. The same shit he did. The same shit he did in the first movie, he did it again. He was just beating the shit out of him for like 30 minutes. That shit was so cool, man. He kicked his ass.
He absolutely destroyed him. He didn't just destroy him either. He ruined his life. Oh, your aunt? Gone. Your best friends? Deleted. And this all could have been avoided if you just pressed the button. And I genuinely do not think that was like the heroic thing to do. I don't think it was the heroic thing to do. And that was like the whole point, where he's like trying to be a good hero. I was like, no, this isn't you being a good hero. This is like very selfish, if anything. Like you are like tearing the world apart for this, just so you can satisfy what? Your own little like ideals. Especially like these niggas are already dead.
Yeah, that very yeah. No, I mean I can understand not wanting to fucking kill these niggas. Like, it's something Superman would do too. Superman
would not want to do that. Killed him. It's like they were already dead.
You gotta remember, Peter is different from you or I. He really follows that great responsibility thing. So like in his mind, I am now responsible for these men because like he's like their lives are in my hands. Like if I just let them die, then I'm a bad person.
He literally didn't know if doing this fixed anything.
I don't think there was a quote that resonates with people more than that great power comes great responsibility within when we talk about superhero movies.
Yeah. The funny thing is, it wasn't even Stan Lee who crafted that scene. Like Stan Lee is the one who wrote the original line, right? But the way it appears in the original comic is it's just like a thing at the bottom at the end of the story, I think, where it appears that like
The narrator says
the narrator says it, and then like but Raimi or whoever wrote this, I think Raimi had a part in helping develop the script. But the script writers of the Spider-Man movie, the first one, had the brilliant idea of making Uncle Ben say the fucking quote. And from there, the rest was history.
I remember I first saw that shit as a kid, did not know what it meant, but I'm like, damn, it sounded cold. And then I'm like, as I got older, I'm like, oh shit. He
I remember
talking.
I used to steal that quote to piss the girls off that I work with, where I used to say, when instead of a great power comes great responsibility, I used to tell them great men often receive great resistance. And I would say this whenever I was doing something or saying something that was shitty and they were bothering me about it. I just keep saying great.
Wait, the Supreme Court of the United States has used the line in some legal fashion.
Yeah,
that's how much that line has had an impact on people, man. Like
it's a great line, and it's
good
true.
Line. And a lot of people don't get it. And hell, there's been numerous comics about how people be like, Spider-Man's like, yeah, everyone knows the line, but no one knows what it means. And then people are like, oh shit, you are like a really good hero. He's like, yeah, I know. Fuck you.
Yeah. There's not even another line within I could think of off the top of my head from a superhero film that even comes close, like remotely close.
I can think of one that stuck with me for a long time. The first Superman movie, when his dad dies of a heart attack, he's like, all these powers, and I couldn't save him. Every time I think about that line, I'm like, damn, that would hurt. That would hurt because he can do almost anything, and his dad dies of a heart attack. Like that would probably there's nothing he could have done. So I can understand why he was so affected by it. Like all those powers, and I couldn't save him. There wasn't a damn thing I could do to stop his heart attack. Yeah. And then another line that hits hard as fuck. Two lines that hit hard as fuck from BVS. Well, the first you have, tell me, do you bleed? You will. That line is dope. The do you bleed? Like that shit, of course. That's a memorable. If that movie didn't get as much flack as it did, that shit would have gone down in history. True. But the famous, the line.
People did like that in the commercials.
Yeah. Tell me, do you bleed? You will, right? And then like another really good line is when he has him on the floor. When this nigga said, "You were never a god. You weren't even a man." I was like, "Oh my god." Like, Yo, that was bad disrespectful.
It was bad disrespectful. But honestly, I feel Superman had the best line in that fight is when he just looked him dead in his face and you could see the fear of God in Bruce. Bruce, you can't even see his fucking eyes. You could tell this man was like, oh, I'm going to die now. Superman didn't say shit.
Start with Superman's other line. When Batman, he's standing there and Batman tries to ram him with the car and then his car is fucking totally destroyed. He walks up to him, rips the car doors open. He's like, next time they shine your light in the sky, don't go to it. The bat is dead. Bury it. He just flew away. Like that. That was some hard shit.
Like, I prefer the line from the comics when, like, I forgot what it was, but some tech Batman has supposed to be super strong. Superman destroys it. He's like, sorry about the thing, Bruce. So I was like,
oh yeah, I was telling you about that. Batman. So one of the things, Batman built this suit called the Justice Buster, and the shit was supposed to be able to take on the whole Justice League. And Superman destroyed it like by himself, right? So he destroyed it, and he apologizes after he destroyed it. Like he's like, "Oh, sorry about your Justice Buster suit, Bruce," because he'd been taken over by the Joker. But that same fight, Batman beats him in the goofy.
Wait, which one of them cracked Wonder Woman first? They both cracked, right?
No, but Superman has no.
I thought he cracked.
Wonder Woman's in the comics. No. As you think about alternate timelines, like in Kingdom Come, they like there's been sexual tension between them, but they never act on it. And then in Kingdom Come, they act on it and they have a kid. What else?
Batman definitely cracked though. Deserted.
Yeah, Batman, like
he don't even call her Wonder Woman. He call her Diana. Like you had to fuck with that woman. You
they were
call her.
inspired by the animated series because it was that
That's
romance.
That's a different connection, bro.
Yeah, there was romance. There's romance between them in the comics too. But in the New 52, Superman and Wonder Woman were dating. They were actually dating and together, and then they broke up. But everyone thought that was really stupid. They're like, why'd you put your...
Because Superman and Batman are supposed to be homies. Like, I don't know if they day one, but they supposed to be tight. So it's like y'all fucking with the same woman. That could, potentially ruin that friendship, that brotherhood.
They were best friends, but then after you get to like modern,
he's getting away. Yeah.
When you get to modern comics, they spend a lot of time when they first meet. They always hate each other in modern comics. It kind of makes sense. You can understand why Superman would not like this guy.
And vice versa.
Yeah, you can understand why they would like each other. So it kind of makes sense. Especially if you look at like in the 1980s in Man of Steel, when he meets Batman, the shit Batman did to try and like get Superman off his back is he pretended that he had planted bombs all around the city. He's like, oh, everyone will die if you don't let me go. Like, of course you'd fucking hate that guy. You're like, what the fuck is that guy's problem? Yeah. Like, you think he's a fucking maniac,
Like, usually Batman doesn't like Superman because Batman's kind of stupid. And then Superman is like, this guy's kind of an asshole.
Yeah, Batman's just like, I don't trust him. That's Batman. I don't trust him. I'll never forget, EJ, you're going to find this shit so funny. Because I remember me and the guys used to die about this all the time. Because I remember there's this comic I read. It's one of the worst comics of all time called All-Star Batman and Robin. It's a really bad comic. And in that comic, it was supposed to be like a reintroduction of the first time Batman meets his first Robin, Dick Grayson, right? And there's a scene in that fucking comic where this is like the early days of the DC universe, so things are a little different. And one of the things I hate really the most about that comic is every other character besides Batman is portrayed as like a fucking idiot and incapable of anything, right? Like Green Lantern, I remember the way he gets beaten. Fucking they paint the room yellow, and then Robin like fucking kicks him in the neck and almost kills him, and they got to do surgery on him. And I'm like, come on, this is Green fucking Lantern. Like, it's like whatever. So, anyways, there's a scene in that fucking comic where I remember I think me and the guys would die about this whenever I spoke about it, where it's Superman running across the water because in this timeline he can't fly yet, right? And Batman's watching him, and Batman's like, he can fly, but he doesn't know it yet. And every time I was reading that shit, I was like, how would you even know? Like, how would you know he could fly? What told you this? I was like, I don't understand.
It's the stupidest thing I've seen in my life. Because I remember, bro, we would make so much fun of this. Because I was like, why would you know this? Like, what? Like, he is the only Kryptonian you've ever met in your life. What about him would just make you like, this man, he could fly. He could probably shoot lasers out his eyes.
That's what the joke.
It smells like he has ice breath. I can smell it.
That's the joke. When we'd explain the joke, it'd be like, he can. We'd come with all sorts of random power. He'd be looking at some random person and just start guessing their power.
And most of the people that he encounters, like in terms of people that he fights, none of them fly. Right? None of them fly.
None of them are normal people. Yeah.
Yeah, Batman fights normal people because if he fought superpowered people, he'd probably lose.
Oh no! Apparently,
I mean, he don't use guns or nothing, so it's fair.
Who's a superpower? I mean, Mr. Freeze, I guess.
Yeah. No, when he meets other superheroes, he kicks their asses all the time.
Yeah, but we all know that's crap.
No.
Yeah, every time that nigga Batman beats the Flash and anything else, like, come on.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the New 52, man, fucking, like every week there was a book with Batman standing on top of some superhero kicking their ass. I was like, why are you guys doing this? I was like, I don't understand. Like, why would you debut a book with the main character? Like, it would be like 3 issues in, and by the 3rd issue, Batman is there beating them up. Like, that's what they would always do every time. But to be fair, they did the same thing with Superman. He would often appear in people's books on the cover, beating the shit out of them. But they were more even with him. Like, sometimes you'd see the other characters winning. I think Vibe has something where you see him winning against Superman. But yeah, man. But again,
I'm saying is cap.
We went way off the main topic there. But EJ, why don't you tell us about your Throwback Thursday story you said you had planned?
So yeah, let me see. Which one should I go with first? I'm gonna go with this one first. I was thinking about both of these today at work. So the first story from my my past. Um, this one happened when I was about. It wasn't that long ago, to be honest. I probably had to be maybe my first, second year of college. I don't remember the age, maybe like 20, 21. I can't remember. But um, this is what happened. So uh, this during this time, I used to go to this gym that my uncle's friend had. He used to like rent out this gym to play basketball, and he would invite a couple of us to go and play. And so it'd probably be like 10 to 15 of us in that gym playing basketball. And I remember one time that I went to the gym, and anybody that ever played basketball, get real competitive with grown men, like they ain't no refs, and you judge the game how you see it. If somebody wants to call a foul, they call a foul. Just giving that context for those that don't play it or haven't really been involved in the sport in any capacity. So you got that going on. You got a bunch of grown men that never made it to the league that they take this thing seriously as if there's money on the line. So as the game, this is one game that's going on. I'm not playing, but I'm watching. I got next. I'm watching from the sidelines, and they're going back and forth. And my uncle's friend, he seems to be arguing, but I can't pick up what he's saying because like they have a speaker and they just blast the music. So I can't. I just see that he's angry and he's arguing with somebody on his team. So they end up getting into each other's face. And when that happens, if somebody just cuts the music off, and it's fucking dumb quiet, and all you hear is them fucking going back and forth. Now I can make out what they're saying. And he's like, man, I'll fucking knock your ass out right now. Keep talking. Keep talking. And the guy just got mad quiet and then just walked out the gym. And I'm like, what the fuck happened?
You missed the whole
Yeah. He was like, you talking all that shit, right? I'll knock your ass right here on this floor. So, um, after like the day's over, I end up asking my uncle's friend about it, and he was telling me that pretty much the whole thing started was it was something petty. Like they were on the same team, and my uncle's friend wasn't really passing him the ball, and he felt like he was being slighted, and so he got aggressive with him and was um, like pass the fucking ball, like talking loud but like aggressive, you
yeah.
know, and my uncle and his friend is around the same age. They from that era where they don't tolerate certain disrespect. And the guy that was talking to him like that is probably someone of my age, maybe a little bit older.
Yeah.
So they had that ego thing going on,
Yeah.
and he wasn't trying to take no shit from him. But it was just funny how like somebody just saw it was escalating, just cut off the music, and they had to stop him. But like after that happened, he ended up texting him an apology, like, "Hey man, like
Who did
I
the kid?
my
The kid texted apology?
no my uncle's friend for like getting like threatening him and saying like I'll fuck you up right here and shit." Like he ended up texting the kid an apology, like I ain't mean it like that, but you was talking hot to me, bruh.
Did the kid apology?
Yeah, yeah, they accept it was awkward, but because we ended up going to that gym like all the time, so like whatever the next day was that we would go there, um, they he ended up pulling up again, but it just wasn't the same after that, and and then like the only defense I remember my uncle's friend was like the only defense for his actions that he said like aside from him feeling disrespected is just like he feels like sometimes these younger generation kids like they talk to these older OGs like in a certain way
Yeah.
like there's a certain way to handle things and they just be talking hot but they don't be like that because when you press them and like you invite that kind of energy and somebody like actually follows up on it
They're like, oh,
you're
I made a mistake.
yeah, yeah. Then it's like, oh, I'm the bad guy for getting loud and threatening you. When you were the one that initiated this kind of, you know, um, initiated this kind of interaction.
Yeah,
So
I remember I was talking to you guys about that I remember when I said I was dating that girl, and there'd be times where guys would say some shit to me like, "Oh, your girl, bro, like your girl's fire," and I'm just like,
yeah,
they know like they did it on purpose because if I get mad, now they're gonna act like I'm overdoing it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, it's not just people. It's not just guys. Everyone's been kind of acting like that, where they're like out here pushing buttons, and then if you act out in any way, it's like, yo, bro, you're not supposed to let that affect you. And it's like, no. You're not supposed to let everything affect you, sure, but you out here disrespecting me blatantly, like that's crazy. That's
Yeah,
actually
it's not even an age thing. It happens generally speaking, but
Yeah.
it also happens between somebody that's younger trying to test like an older dude. It's like, yo, relax, bro. Like he'll really put you in the hospital. Like they come from that. They come from an era of just fighting people, bro. Like these guys
Sometimes,
get antagonized fast. Like
yeah. Sometimes it
not
happens.
even to glorify, but that's just what they do. Go ahead.
Sometimes it happens the other way around. Like there will be old people trying to test you because you're
Ugh.
young.
Yeah.
Yeah, that also happens where they
And
want
then,
their
and then
respect because they're older than you. I'm like,
now,
yeah,
like when if you like react in a certain way, then they'll same thing. They'll act like you like, oh damn, why you acting like that, bro? It's like,
yeah.
yo, you
Yeah.
were the one that started it.
My dad's friends be like that sometimes. Where I'm just like, yo, I don't know you. If you weren't my dad's friends, we would not be here having a conversation. Like, relax yourself, please.
Yeah,
Relax.
relax.
Like even in his apology, he was like, "Yeah, like I probably shouldn't have taken it to that point, but he's like, you was talking hot though, bro. Like,
100%.
I didn't appreciate you talking like that to me. So it goes both ways. I mean, obviously you want to handle things not in that manner, but
Yeah. Takes a
you know
real man.
when you come from a certain environment, not not to
Not to romanticize it.
support not to exactly not to support that kind of behavior, but there are things naturally like when you are so used to handling interactions um a certain way, then you kind of you still try to break out of that mentality, but it's something that is common for you. So
I wonder what that nigga did to make you so mad. But
but yeah,
I have a
that was
similar
the go ahead.
I have a similar story about another throwback. Something I probably told this story to you guys before on stream. But one day when I was a little ass kid, maybe like 13, something like that, same thing. Sitting there watching a basketball game. Of course, they took it mad seriously, like you were just saying,
Yeah.
right? Kids. I remember there was one game where the guy got he got like blocked or something. I guess the way the guy did it pissed him off. Like he kind of like it was kind of like not in my house kind of thing, like he smacked the ball away, made the kid look like a fool. So the guy was a little older than him. The kid runs up, starts trying to fight him, and the guy pieced him up real fast. The guy,
Mm.
I'll tell you, that shit happened in like 2 seconds. He fucking knocked him up. The guy's bleeding and on the floor, right? So guy gets mad. He leaves. Nigga comes back with a knife talking about it's about to be a murder case up in here. And people had to run and go stop him. Fucking goofy ass retard about to stab somebody over a basketball game. Are you serious?
Take that shit personal, bro.
All because it makes you look even more like a sore loser because you're only mad that he pieced you up.
Yeah.
See, you already got a knife. Like that's goofy, man.
Yeah, bro. Imagine going all the way home. Imagine going all the way to your house,
You're
being
fucking
that
kitchen knife.
mad. I don't think I
Not
could
even a
be.
real knife, a fucking kitchen knife. Yeah. Well, what a
Like, I don't think
bitch.
I could be that mad the entire time.
Oh yeah.
Especially imagine you had to take a bus home. He was just
You sit around the bus like about to be a murder case. About to be a murder case. You know, to be coaching yourself to stay mad. Like, nah, don't start thinking about don't think about that. Don't think about that. We gotta kill that nigga. You know?
Oh,
Oh
bro,
my god.
imagine you walk in, he's like, oh man, I forgot to take out the trash. He's angrily taking out the trash.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll go back out anyway.
And then you walk inside your girlfriend like, hey baby, how's it going? You wanna babe, not right now. Not right
Oh
now.
man, bro.
You're taking the
Your
knife.
dog jumps up, he's like, walk? We go for a walk? He's like, nah, chill, homie. Chill.
Not right now. Not right now. I gotta go kill this guy at the park over a basketball game. Come on, hold on.
Bro, the more I think about it, the
I
goofier
got
it becomes.
He's like, I gotta go commit murder so I can spend the rest of my life in prison. Hold on. I gotta go. Yo, could you imagine? Like, one of my things I'm always telling people is that when I end up in situations where I'm about to die, like I remember that time we were on the highway and we were fucking we thought we were in Need for Speed.
I don't know what
And
you're talking about.
Yeah, whatever. I remember when we fucking swerved for a second.
Nah, never
I
happened,
remember
bro.
the only thing in my head was my mom's gonna be mad at me. Like every time my mom's gonna be so like when the in my head, right? Like if I were to stab somebody over a basketball game, my mom would be so pissed. Like the disappointment, she'd be like, "What the hell?" Like, like
Yeah,
I would.
bro. My dad would be like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
My mom
Probably say just like that. What the fuck is wrong with you?
my mom probably wouldn't even show up to visit me. That's how mad she'd be. What the hell's that? Oh, where's that guy?
This is massive my ventriloquism, bro.
Oh, one of Superman's powers, his old powers, super ventriloquism.
Yeah, super ventriloquism, bro. He people would be pretending to be on the phone and still talking with Superman. I was like, look, man, I could understand the super hearing, but super ventriloquism, bro, come on.
I do better than that, bro.
Goofy ass shit is that, bro.
What do you call it? I remember when those girls. When I remember the story, I think I've told the story on stream too, and I told you guys a bunch of times. When me and the boy were with those girls, and those like 6 black niggas walked past, and I knew they were gonna do something. I knew it, of course.
You were like,
And they start saying shit, of course. And I was like, I'm not fighting these niggas. I'm not gonna get my ass kicked over some bitch. I'm not doing it. And I was like, and especially not like not to be racist, not over a bitch from the Caucasus Mountains. I was like, my mom would be really mad at me. I was
When
like,
you're walking down the streets, your ass still get beats, but your ass still get beats.
yeah, because like I was like, nah, bro, I'm just gonna let them have their fun and let them keep going, keep pushing. I was like, once they get it out of their system, they're gonna leave me alone because I'm not getting my ass kicked over this woman I just met. I'm not doing that. Like some woman I met that night. That's crazy. Like that alone would piss my mom off that I got my ass jumped and fucking murdered over some girl I just
what
met.
were you doing? I was defending her honor. Who? I don't know her name.
He's like, ah. He was like, ah.
I remember in the older video.
Remember her name? You remember her name?
I think so.
I remember in the older video when we used to talk about defending a woman's honor.
Yeah.
And Ray was like, defend her honor. What the fuck does that mean? Like, have at love.
What the fuck does that mean? I mean, remember the story I told you guys the other day about like my attempt at defending somebody's honor, and that was stupid. It wasn't even like that wasn't why I was doing it. I was just trying to get rid of the issue that was with our group, and then I fucking picked the nigga up and moved him. And I was like, why did you do that?
I ain't gonna lie. Even if I was wrong, bro, we fighting in that situation. You pick me up. And we fighting, bro. I don't even care who I'm mad at.
I don't think I can have that reaction. If a guy picked me up and moved me like I was nothing, I'd be afraid. I'd be afraid.
You're big guys. Of course, that'd be some terrible shit.
Imagine like some guy just. I'm just like, this is 300 pounds. This man picked up 300 pounds like I was a bag of chips.
You're reminding me of something that happened to me once. What was it? There was some situation where something like that happened to me, where some nigga demonstrated that he was just superior to me.
Where he
Okay, so like some shit. It was some shit I did to someone else that was being done to me now, and I was like, oh, so this is how it feels. Basically, I was arm wrestling someone a long time ago. And I'm like, I was exerting effort, but it wasn't like anything crazy. And they were like, obviously exerting mad effort. And I was like, yeah, you're pretty strong. And like, because I wasn't trying to be demeaning, but the way it looked, because I'm sitting there all chill like this, and he's like, and I'm just like pushing his hand down slowly. And then as I'm pushing it down, like, you're pretty strong actually. Like I was dead serious. Like because everyone else had arm wrestle was mad easy, but him, I was actually feeling like resistance. It was like some anime character shit, where the villain is kicking your ass and like, you're quite strong. If only you were.
You're very capable.
You're very capable. Yeah. Okay, so
that's required 30% of my strength for some Takuro shit.
That's what happened. The guy made me use. I had to actually exert a tiny bit of effort to defeat him. Because one of the funniest things about that arm wrestling competition I did, right? One, I did not switch arms, and then I started using my weaker arm to give them more of an opportunity. One of these motherfuckers was talking mad shit. Yeah, I've been hitting the gym because I had to fit into my suit. And then he starts arm wrestling me, and he's like, "Wow, you strong, man." And I'm like, "You've been hitting the gym, huh?" Couldn't tell. Couldn't tell. But
you gotta do him like that, bro.
So years later, right? Years later, this guy at this contractor job, they used to call him Clark Kent because he wore glasses, and he did look like what Superman would look like. If he didn't have blonde hair, he could have been Superman, right? And this motherfucker, one day he looks at me, he's like, "Oh, Gio, you work out, huh?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Hey, you want to arm wrestle?" Because he was like an arm wrestling like champion or some shit like that. I was like, "Yeah, sure." I was like, "They were telling me about you. Let's do it."
Fuck you, become an arm wrestling champion. That's beside the point. Go ahead.
Anyways, we're arm wrestling, right? And it's one of the same things. Motherfucker did the same thing to me. He's like pushing my head down, and I'm pushing, trying my best to win. And he's like, "Oh, you're good. You're strong. You're strong. You're strong." And he's like, no, not even a grimace. He's not even breathing yet. He's just like, and he stopped. I think he stopped. He stopped and just like that. I was like, "Come on, man. You gotta give me some honor, man. You can't."
You're like, not like this. Not like this.
You're embarrassing. You're embarrassing me. Yo, that shit was so funny. It was like, yo, when he did that shit to me, it was another anime scene. It was like, "This is impossible. No, this can't be happening." When the villain is thinking in his head as he's getting his ass whooped. Oh my god. The same thing happens in Scott Pilgrim when he fights that guy, the first scene in the movie, and he's kicking his ass, and the guy's like, "This is impossible," as he's falling backwards. He's like, "This is impossible." Oh my god.
Yeah, that nigga Scott shouldn't have won.
Good. Yo, Scott.
Plot armor, man. Plot armor.
Scott was fucking. What's the word? What's the word you use for characters like that?
OP.
OP. But he was Hex. Motherfucker was mad powerful, and when he couldn't just beat the shit out of you, he would just trick you. And he could trick anybody apparently.
Bro, he was like, "Damn, I'm gonna lose." He was just like, "No, I'm not." That was it. He was like, "Damn, I'm gonna lose."
So the nigga could read his mind. The nigga could read his fucking mind. He's like, "Nah, I thought really hard about the other cup." And then, oh my god, yo, like all he did was think really hard, and he was able to beat him. Well, I mean, the other guy he tricked, that was more of the guy's own ego tricking him. Like Scott barely had to do anything that time. The guy was just so egotistical. It was like taking candy from a baby. Yeah.
Yeah, I got one more though. I got one more story. All right.
No, we gonna have to cut you off, bro. Go for it.
So this one was in high school, right? I think I told you guys this one. This is probably like one of the funniest stories I've ever, got to witness. So we're in high school, right? And this is in my science class. And two of these guys that I know, they used to always be arguing with each other, but in this particular moment, like they're really arguing, like this heated, like they're about to fight each other. And I don't remember exactly what they was arguing about. I think it had to do with something petty, like who gets the most bitches or something like that. something completely like unimportant. And so they both get up and they get in each other's face. And before either one of them like swung, um another guy we know named T Cash, shout out to him. I still talk to him here and there. T Cash, my guy needs brother. We call him T Money. Call him T Money. Bro, he was notoriously known throughout the school for always throwing shit at people. Like we like when lunch would be over, bro, like we would all like go towards these steps, where
that's a very specific thing to be known for.
yeah, he was known for that. Like everybody gave him his props for that, bro. So like we every time we would leave lunch, just to give you some context on him, every time we would leave lunch and go back upstairs, like we would all have to like go converge at the staircase. Like there wasn't no other way to go up, and this is like a big ass staircase. So he would use that as the opportunity to just hit people with shit as they're going up. And it's like it's so many people evacuating, like there's no like it could have came from anybody, you know? Like he would take like the apple slices that we would get and just be flinging those. Like it'd be anything, any type of fruit. He'd just be bugging. And like he was the one that started it. He wasn't the only one that was doing it. He was the one that started it, and then like people, I guess like he had people taking up after him. Like he just started that trend. So he happened to be in the science class with us, but he sat like all the way across like from us. Like he was at the other end of the room.
Yeah.
And when they were getting into each other's face, this motherfucking T Cash throws like a orange slice, bro. Flink throws it from across the room, and it landed flat on his face. Like it lit. Like I'm seeing it in motion.
I think you told me the story.
Yeah.
I think you told me the story real life.
Shit landed flat on his face, bro, and then you can see the juice just dripping. And bro, as soon as that, mind you, he's already hot. Like he's about to fight this other guy. So as soon as that happened, he immediately turned to his right. And like I said, T Cash was known throughout the school for doing this.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as he looked to his right, he already knew who it was. Like there wasn't no questions about who it could have been. So he just looked towards T Cash way. It was like, yo, what the fuck, man? The hell's the matter with you? And then T Cash is just sitting there looking at him smiling, like, what you about to do, bro? Like,
oh my god.
So he's just looking at him smiling, like you not like you got hit with an orange, bro. Like, what you about to fight me? Like, so so now Sean, the one that got hit with the orange slice, now Sean is like running in his direction. And then T Cash sees him running in his direction, and he welcomes that. So he just gets up from his chair, and this man literally fixes. He had a ponytail. He literally ties his hair up, and then he starts making his way towards him. And then at that point, like a fight's about to happen, but then the teacher gets in the middle of it, like, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Like that scene from fucking Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah,
we're being like that.
Yeah. So like this is in the middle of class while she's talking and shit. So, but the funniest part about that story is that not only did he fucking get hit with that slice from across the room, this man totally disregarded the other guy he was fighting. It was like he dropped that. He was like, "Nah, we got more pressing matters to do."
I mean, that is a crazy disrespect. Like you do have to, one battle at a time,
I don't think he ever fought the other guy. I don't think they ever like fought. Like that never happened. So it was like not that the other guy like would have been like he was willing to fight him, but he got out of that situation. He got out of a potential suspension or whatever consequence would have happened.
And T Cash probably did it all on purpose. It was the T Cash's plan all along.
All according to the light.
All according.
T Cash was like, "Oh yeah, we about to fight. I bet. Get my hair wrapped up real quick. Let's go."
Yeah, because the thing is, right? It's like if you were fighting somebody and another person runs up and smacks you in the face, you probably are gonna turn to fight the person that smacks you in the face.
It's just funny like that. The odds of that happening though, like somebody really gonna fuck with you in a time where you have your eyes set on destroying somebody else. Like what?
Perfect time to do it. I remember one of the first fights I got into. Something the teachers told me that got me that kind of woke me up. Because I'd won the fight, but the thing is, when the teacher was like, "Oh, are you guys stupid? You let those older kids like goad you into that fight." He's like, "You know what they do, right?" And I was like, "What do they do?" He's like, "They jump in and start jumping the people in the fight." He was like pointing out this is what they do, and I was like, "Oh shit!" It's like they try to start fights so that they can start giant brawls. Like that's one of the reasons why they try to get people to fight each other. And I was like, "Oh shit!" That almost happened to me. I almost got my ass whooped. But I remember a long time ago, I witnessed a crazy ass funny fight. Well, two things. I also used to love throwing things at people. Like I remember one time, there's this girl named we won't say her name, but there was a girl we knew, right? And one day she's walking across the lunchroom, and like I had a fry with me, right? And I was like, okay, I'm gonna hit her with the fry. And then I knew she was a moving target. So like I'm gonna throw the fry where she's gonna be. Is what I did. And then I threw the fry and she walked right into the line of sight that it hit her. And she turns, she starts looking around and she sees me laughing. She's like, what the fuck? And the guy that was next to me is like, what the fuck? He's like, how did you do that? I was like, I don't know. I just did what seemed to make sense. But one time I remember I saw this fight. There was this kid also named, his name was Giovanni, right? And he was from fucking the Dominican Republic. He was fresh from the DR, right? He comes and like he didn't know how to speak English that well. Very nice guy, one of the most peaceful guys ever. And one day, one of the kids tried to start something with him, and Giovanni's like trying to tell him to leave me alone. Like I don't want no trouble. I don't want no trouble. And the guy rushes forward to try and fight him. And Giovanni, again, another situation where the fight was over in 0.5 seconds. Giovanni fucked this guy up. To this day, I've never seen someone get fucked up so badly and so quickly. And like this shit was like out of a John Wick movie. It was like, like that's how, like one of the punches went down like that, and you see the guy bleeding from his nose. Back in those days, I never saw fights where people were bleeding like that. Like it never happened. I would just see people get their shit rocked, and that was the end of it. But he was the first time I saw like someone draw blood while they were fighting somebody. I didn't even know people could do that shit. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I didn't know that was in the rule book. And years later, I was what the second time I saw blood draw in a fight, it was me. It was on my fucking hands. The blood was on my hands.
Menace.
Yes. Yeah. No, but that shit did make me feel like garbage though. Like you don't understand how disgusting you feel as you're looking at your hands and you see blood on them and it's not yours. Like you're just like you feel like a piece of shit. Yeah.
The pain that you had to inflict on this individual. If he would have just left you alone, man, why did he have to terminate?
Happened because like actually this would be a perfect throwback story. The first fight I ever really won. Like this was like the first real fight I got.
So you was getting washed before that.
Yeah, actually the first fight I ever had in my life, I did get washed. Because he caught me off guard. Basically, he was throwing a pencil at me. I said, if you keep throwing that pencil at me, I'm gonna punch you in the face. And he threw the pencil at me, and I got up and punched him in the face. But it was like very lightly. It was very similar to the situation you described, where you fucked the guy up inside the classroom. So I went and punched him in the face. And I just did this because my mom told me you can't let people like do that kind of stuff.
Like if someone put your hands on you, put your hands back. Like,
So then, anyways, later he's like trying to fight me. I was like, I don't want to fight you. I kept trying to walk away from him. This motherfucker puts his foot in front of my foot, and then so I can like fake step on his shoe, and he just started hitting me. And then he just started sucker punching me. So I was like, what the fuck? Like I'm taking out like, what is this guy doing? And the funny thing is, it didn't even hurt. That was a common thing back when I was a kid. Whenever people get into fights with me, it would not hurt, and I did not understand why, how you could be hitting me with all your might, and I wasn't feeling anything. But like, so he hit me, and like, there was something later in that thing because he won the fight of course he won. He just sucker punched me like 3 times. Like I had no way to be prepared for it, right? So I'm just like, what the fuck? And I'm like still reeling from that situation. So basically, I fucking I get angry and I ran and jumped in the air and I was about to like punch him, but someone like pointed out, like they were like, holy shit, and he turned around and then he fucking was able to like catch me and like fucking threw me on the ground. So, but I'm happy that happened because if I was to hit him from like as high as I was, who knows? Maybe he might have fucking died or something, and then I go to jail, right? Or I might have really hurt him. So it's a good thing that someone pointed me out to him. But
so when you fight with the mentality,
fighting, bro.
Like that's what I'm saying. You fight to the death, like.
I'm going to kill you. It's not a good idea to fight me because I remember one time.
You don't got that self because you're in survival instinct.
My sister was with this guy, and the guy apparently had a gun or something. And my mom was saying to me, "Oh, you got to be careful with that guy, because I forgot why. He was scared of me or something." It's like, "Oh, because he might pull out a gun." And I was like, "Mom, I know this. I met the guy. He's not the kind of guy who's going to actually use it." I was like, "Mom, if he pulled out the gun, it would be worse for him because he would pull out the gun, and my first thought would be, now I have to kill him." And as he's sitting there trying to act gangster with his gun, I would already rushed forward, taking the gun, or try to take the gun and try to kill him. Like I would have actually tried to use it. Like I'm not like a gun. If I have that in my hands, I'm using it. Like I'm not gonna pull it out just to. No, it's gonna get used, right? So, anyways, another funny thing, and then I'll get to the actual story I wanted to tell. One time, This one time, this guy he fucking was all over my face, and I pushed him, and he flew like across the classroom. This man he flew, he like slid on the floor and everything. So he got mad. He ran up and he like hit me twice, right in the face. He was like bam bam, and again I did not feel that shit. And I was like, okay, well now we're even. And I just walked away. And the rest of the school year, oh that guy fucked you up, and I was like, but how though? And like he hit me twice, and I was unfazed. I pushed him with one hand and he flew across the classroom. I was like, I don't understand. Like, do you guys not like I don't know, man. It's like maybe if I'd gotten mad, he would have died.
Yeah.
Like it's like I don't. It doesn't seem like there's equal power distribution there. But anyways, that first fight I got into with the blood on my hand, basically this kid, me and him were friends, but he kept making these like he was obsessed with Family Guy and he wanted to be like he thought he was Quagmire in real life. So he would make the stupid Quagmire jokes, and he would say giggity giggity in real life, like he would say giggity giggity in real life and do the head motion and everything, right?
That's gross.
Yeah,
That's good. A giggity spawn. I mean, yeah. I mean, a Quagmire spawn.
So then I got annoyed by that. You know, I started getting me and my other friend.
Quagmire must have banged his mom's, but go ahead.
we were tired of that shit. So one day we said to him, we're like, look, like the sexual jokes are annoying. Like I really don't want to be your friend anymore. Please, can we just like we should just sever ties. Like this really
that's so awkward. That's so
we told him to leave us alone. Like we're like it's weird. Please leave us alone.
How do you tell a guy you don't want to be cool with him no more? I guess it's easier with a girl, but a guy, it's just damn, bro.
So like for a while, and it was sad because like he would look at us sometimes, and you could clearly see he wanted to talk to us, but we told him to leave us the fuck alone.
Yo, couldn't he have just stopped doing the Quagmire shit though?
I don't remember if we gave him the option. I think it was just like leave us alone.
It reminded me of that. Remember that guy Quips from Regular Show? Skip's cousin.
Yeah.
He could have stopped cracking jokes. He wanted to be a comedian.
No, I think we did give him a chance. I think we did. He couldn't help himself. I think we told him like, hey, could you please like chill, like cool it with the like fucking American Psycho. Could you cool with the anti-Semitic remarks? Like you've seen American Psycho, right, EJ?
Yeah, come on, man. We talked about that movie before.
Cool with the anti-Semitic remarks. That's everyone's favorite quote from that fucking movie. But anyways, he did not want to stop. So like eventually, I guess it got to the point where like leave us the fuck alone. And then like basically one day, I forgot what happened. I'm leaving, and I think he was like trying to talk to me or something. And basically, other kids, the other gangster, idiot, fucking annoying kids, caught wind. They heard that we weren't friends anymore. They came trying to instigate. It's like, damn, you should fuck that nigga up, bro. Telling the other guy to fuck him up. And telling me to fight. I was like, I don't want to fight him. I was like, I'm not fighting him. I was like, why would I fight him? But then this motherfucker, like he just started taking like some karate classes. So he was high on that idea that now he was the Karate Kid, right? So he starts going, yeah, I'd fight him. I'd fuck him up. I heard those words, and that's all I needed. His name said he gonna fuck me up. I was like, okay. I was like, all right, let's go then. Let's go. He went to the park, and I beat the shit out of him, man. Like that shit was not a fair fight at all. Like he was trying to do his stupid karate shit, and it was not working. Like I remember he tried to kick me and he kicked me across the back and it did absolutely nothing. And I turned around and just punched him in the face. And then that fight was literally the coolest thing I've ever done in my life. Like nothing I've done up through all my life was as cool as in this moment where he went behind me and I spun around and hit him with the back of my hand. Like it was a real Bruce Lee shit. I was like, bang. That's the shit that like his nose started leaking as soon as I did that shit. That shit, I still remember that shit all the time. I think back to it. That was so cool.
Couldn't have been me, man. I would have caught that shit.
No, I think he just didn't see it coming. He didn't expect me to do that. You don't expect someone to spin around and hit you in the back of their head. Like, that's weird. Because I remember even when I was boxing a friend of ours, I tried to hit him, and he moved out of the way. And then I'm like this, and then I swung back up and hit him in the face. And he was like, I did not see that shit coming. He was like, I've never seen that ever in my life. So yeah, because I'm telling you, I probably would not have seen that shit coming either. Like Like if you're fighting somebody and they spin and hit you with the back of their head, you're like, damn, you could do that.
Like, what movie you just finished watching, bro?
Exactly. But yeah. Anyways, that's all I got.
Okay, good times.
Good times. Yeah. Committing violence.
Unlike you heathens, I've never been in a fight.
Yeah, you have.
No, I haven't.
Remember when Armand fucked you up?
Yeah. I wasn't even there, but I know that shit just said.
Nah, it was you should quickly tell that story of the time Armand.
It was very similar to like how that like guy like put his hands on you, you didn't feel anything, you were like, okay.
Yeah.
It was like that, like this fucking white kid just being mad annoying, and then he was the type that if you retaliate, he would blow the fuck up. So he's being annoying. Yeah. I think I got him in a headlock. I'm like, yo, shut the fuck up.
And he used to always do that when he's around women too, right?
No,
Is that the guy?
Completely different.
Oh, that was another guy. Something he used to do.
We're in headlocks, man. What's good with you?
I don't know. It was easy.
That was a go-to.
It's just like, yo, come here real quick. Anyway.
When they're shorter than you, it's easier to just wrap your arm around their neck.
Like, yeah, I ain't trying to put in that much effort, man. Come get this headlock.
Yeah, I told him to stop. Then he gets up because he's all heated or whatever, and he's like stabbing me with this pencil. And I just look at him. I'm like, "You good now?" And he's like, "Damn, that hurt." And I was like, "Okay." And then bro, for like the next 6 years, I'm in this fucking school. They're like, remember when that guy beat your ass? I was like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Then I caught wind of it, and I kept mentioning it every 10 seconds.
He wasn't even in the school there, bro. He wasn't even in the school.
And I heard the story. I was like, yo, remember Armin fucked you up? I was like, Armin, remember that time you fucked me up?
I swear, y'all said it so much that he actually believes it, bro.
Yeah, he found that shit so funny. But there's another story involving that guy, very similar. Where one day I was the one being annoying in this scenario, and because I was a very annoying guy, and I did it on purpose. I found it funny, annoying people. So one day, Ray and Armand, I think they're playing Yu-Gi-Oh, and I kept commenting on the game, just making jokes, and I think I was just being annoying. I think I was lifting the cards up and that kind of shit. And Armand was like, "If you touch the cards one more time, I'm gonna smack you in the face." So I had to test it. I was like, there's no way he's going to actually smack me in the face.
Yeah, you told us when I remember that. Yeah.
I looked at the card, and he smacked me in the face. And I was like, oh.
Props to him, but you getting sent too.
Yeah. So I waited a couple of seconds, because I'm not dumb. I was like, if I try to smack him immediately, he's going to see it coming. He's going to move out of the way. He's going to try and block. I was like, I got to wait. I waited a few seconds.
But that had to be embarrassing, bro, for you to wait.
Yeah, that's why I had to get out of him. That's why I had to smack him.
No, I'm saying before you retaliated, though, like everybody saw this shit. And
no one saw it. No, it was just Ray.
Okay. I thought it was a bunch of people.
I don't know when they saw it, but I smacked the absolute fire out of him when I got my opportunity. I was like, bam! I was like, fuck you thought this was. And then this nigga gonna jump up like he thought he was gonna do something. I jumped up, and Ray can tell you, there was no way Armin could have won that fight. I would have fucked him up. But Ray,
did you see it? Did you see it coming? Like Gio slapping him?
I don't remember.
Did you know it?
Remember. This isn't my story, so I was there, but I don't give a fuck. So I don't remember this shit.
He's like, hey, yo, Gio gonna take that one on the chin. I'm saying we're gonna go back to playing cards as normal.
I don't think I thought Gio was gonna just like take it on. See, if anything, I was probably like, he ain't do nothing. For real?
That's what I'm saying. The delay, like that delay is like.
I don't know. He said it was a delay. I don't even think it was that much of a delay. It's not like he waited 5 minutes or long. He like let the guy sit down. He was like, he probably like adjusted his shirt and then immediately got smacked.
I waited like 3 seconds, and I know.
That delay would have threw me off.
Thinking in my head, I have to wait. I was like, if I do it right away, he's gonna block it. Cause it's like when someone does something to you, and like. In your head, you're like, I gotta wait for the perfect moment to get them back. It was like that, but much faster. I was like, how the fuck are you just gonna like? I just didn't understand. Like, what did you think was gonna happen? Did you think you were just gonna smack someone in the face and they weren't gonna do anything?
Far ahead, especially when they think they're the main character. They were really just like,
it's their story, bro. They gotta win.
Yeah, I'm that guy. Like I smacked the shit out of you, and then they get smacked back. Like, oh, like I guess I've never been in a fight, right? But and someone else reminded me that I even did this. We used to like sit on top of this like park bathroom, like like the 1-story building. We would just climb up there, sit up there because we could, right? Like fucking, I Yeah, we were high school. It's like, yeah, we just sitting on top of it. Some guy told us to get down, whatever. We get down. And then, like, because we did it, some, like, elementary schoolers or middle schoolers were copying us. And it was a lot worse for them because they were so small.
Right.
Yo, what is this?
I've gotten Desire, which is also not right. But my name is Desiree.
Oh, sorry.
Bro, I was just like, what the fuck is this?
Sorry, I forgot. I was.
You were muted, bro?
I'm sorry. I forgot I was live.
Oh my god. Anyway, so the
sorry about that, yeah. Whatever.
On top of the bathroom is much dangerous for them, much more dangerous for them because they're way smaller than us. And bro, apparently like one of them was climbing up, like there was like this flagpole next to it, so there was a rope. They were like, the rope got tangled around one of their necks, and they didn't realize at one point. They were like, yeah, they gotta stop this shit. Like they can't be like they were going to hurt themselves if they keep doing this shit. So we were like, yo, you kids gotta get down. It's dangerous, whatever. And one of the kids, like, he went and told his big cousin or some shit. He was like, one of those guys told us to SMD. I was like, and then his fucking cousin comes up to me. Like, I'm sitting here reading my book, a little comic book, and he's like, yo, my little cousin said you said SMD. I literally look at my man's, look back at my book. I was like, nah, it wasn't me. And he didn't know what to do at that point. Because like, there I am just ignoring it.
You wasn't copping please. You wasn't doing nothing. You was just going back to my book.
Yo, you said this shit. I was like, nope, that wasn't me. And he's like standing there, and then he like turns around and he's like, well, why he say it though? I was like, look, I told him, I was like, I'm still reading the book, by the way. I was like, yeah, look, they were climbing that building. I told him to get off, and that's it. I just told him to get off. And he was like, oh. And then he's like, well, you shouldn't be so rude. I was like, I didn't say that. I was like, it wasn't me.
Yeah, that shit was so funny.
And he's like, then he goes telling his cousin not to climb up there or whatever. It was a goofy ass situation.
Yeah, they had nothing to say.
Was it Final Crisis you were reading?
I don't remember what I was reading.
It was either All Star Superman or Final Crisis.
It was definitely something with Superman in it, yeah.
Because we're reading it, and I think we're all looking at it together. I think I'd already read it.
Yeah,
so we're looking at it.
He left that man defenseless.
We're talking about it. And then it was like literally exactly as Ray described. He looks up, we all look over, and Ray says that. Ray says, I didn't say that. And the guy is just standing there looking stupid for a few minutes. And then he just like, same thing. And then we just turned back and went back to what we were doing.
I don't know why the kid didn't just come with him, like to confront you.
He wasn't like, he was right there. He was like, the kid wasn't like far away. He was just right there. But like, yeah, I think he was prepared for something to go down or whatever. And I was like even if I did say it, I'd be like, yeah, I can't suck my dick. I would tell you. And later we find out if one of us might have said, not one of us, some former guy.
That fucking guy. It was him.
Like, we think it was him. There's no confirmation.
Yeah. I mean,
because like, why would I look at some middle schooler and be like, yo, suck my, for what?
What do you think would happen if someone said, I did say that? What are you going to do about it?
I don't know, but I was thinking about it because I was like, if he smacks me right now, I can't get up because we were at those it was a stone bench, so I was like, you have to like shimmy into the seat, like you can't pull the seat out. And I was like, if he smacks me right now, I'm gonna look real goofy getting up, and if I look real goofy getting up, this man is gonna have to die, bro. Because I was just thinking, I was like, I'm gonna look like an absolute idiot as this man is wailing on me, and I'm just out the fucking seat, bro. I was reading the comic, but I was like, if this man touches me, he has to die.
You're like, yo, hold on, give me a second,
bro. Like, that's what I was thinking. I was like, this goofy. I was like, I was thinking about it. I was like, I'm in the wrong seat for this. Lucky nothing happened. Lucky nothing happened because I don't know what was gonna happen. I was probably gonna get my ass beat because I was in that fucking weird ass seat.
Yeah, and another thing about people thinking they're the main character, and I guess we can finally call it a night because we've been here for like 10 years. People think they're the main character. I remember there's one nigga, another karate nigga, right? This is in high school, and you know who this karate nigga is. Yeah.
That's what it is.
So one day we were sitting there chilling.
He used to get put in the headlocks too. Go ahead.
No, we're all making jokes, right? And like, I make a joke about him, and for some reason he gets mad. He gets mad, angry, even though we're all making jokes.
It's because he thought you were the lame.
Yeah, so he jumps up. He starts talking. She's like, "I'll fuck you up." I'm sitting there eating my lunch. I calmly eat my lunch. I don't say shit. I'm like, all right, okay, I got you. That's later. Watch, because I'm not stupid. The fucking dean or whatever's right there. I'm like, if we fight here, if we now start trying to act like we're gangster here, they're gonna break it up in 2 seconds. I was like, watch him when he tries to come trying to act like we're homies later. Watch. Like I was sitting there simmering, thinking about that shit for the rest of the day, about how he embarrassed me, right? Then one day, not one day, a few hours later, we're fucking science. He comes to me and he tries to say something, and he was something completely friendly and normal, like nothing happened. I was like, "Who the f- you guys are?" I was like, "I'll fuck you up, nigga." I started knocking things off the table and like walking over to him, and he's like backing up, and then fucking Kumar jumps in between us, like, "Yo, chill, what's going?" Because Kumar wasn't there. But so in Kumar's mind, he just sees me spaz and start acting like a nutcase for no reason. He's like, "What the fuck is going on?" And then
Like,
Jordan's
this been brewing for a while, bro.
yeah, I was angry. I was heated, and understandably so. Of course, I was heated. Like he got up in front of everyone in the lunchroom and did that. And of course, no one took him seriously. So instead, they just were like, "What the fuck is he doing? Like, what's wrong with that guy? Like, why is he screaming?" Oh man! And then he never did anything like that to me again. We became like best friends after that because I guess it was another check this gangster kind of moment. You know,
You always gotta
'cause I
check
was
their
just talking.
gangster, bro.
I was
Except
just
ladies
talking.
should never check their gangster.
Fighting your friends brings you closer together, man.
They weren't friends.
I was just yeah, we were never friends. I never liked that guy. But we were just talking about I was talking with someone at work about this, where it's like when you like people will try to gangster with you, and then like when you test it, you'll learn who that like you gotta test it. Like just like you were talking about with the kids that talk crazy to the adult, and then you test them. And then they're like, okay, yeah, you're right. I'm not that guy. You're right. Like you're right. Oh, you got me. You know, it's like,
I never behaved that way. If I ever was to act in that and act different, like I'm going to bring that energy. Like I'm not going to portray
yeah.
something I'm not. Like if you cause me to act this way, like then I'm gonna match that. Even if I get my ass whooped, I'm gonna continue. Like you
Yeah,
gonna
there's
have
no
to,
backing down. If I'm acting
yeah.
like
If
a
I'm acting
fool, it's
that way, yeah.
like just where's my red nose in my hat, bro? Like let's go.
You gonna have to pack me up. Like I'm committed. I'm committed to this decision, bro. Ain't no going back and forth. Ain't no negotiating. You
That's my
feel me?
favorite. That's my favorite phrase. Pack me up.
Pack me
Pack me up. You introduced me to that. I never heard that phrase until you started saying it. You gotta pack me up.
All right, but we've had some
Oh,
fun talking about the good old days. We are now statistics.
yeah,
That was pretty nice.
yeah.
It's pretty nice.
oh, it's time to pack us up.
Yeah.
Not advocate for violence, guys, but you know what I'm saying. Don't take no
We're
shit from
back in the
nobody, man.
day. This was like 30 years ago.
I'm
Thanks.
advocating violence. Crush your enemies and drink their bone marrow.
You can't drink bone marrow. Well, you gotta
There's
heat it
just
up
some-
first.
Yeah, you crack their. What is it that there was something a character said in something I was watching? I was mad cold. Like I'll crush your bone marrow into dust and like use it to make my soup or some shit like that. He said.
You do use bones to make soup, so
Yeah, he's like, I'll crush your bones into dust. Then he was like, I'll crush your bones and eat the marrow and use the bones to make soup. Use the bones to make my soup. Some shit like that. And I was
no,
like,
you would
God
need the
damn.
marrow though. Like you would need.
I think he just wanted to eat the marrow. I guess he just wanted to eat some money marrow. You know, marrow's the best part of the bone.
Yeah,
Marrow's
that's the part you use to make soup. Where you crack some bones, you can make some chicken stock.
Yeah, I don't know. He just talk. I just know he was talking about beating this nigga so badly he was gonna use his bones to make soup. I was like, God damn. I was like, that's brutal. Yeah. Anyways, Vanguard out.
All right.